The future is coming, and sooner than you think. These emerging technologies will change the way we live, how we look after our bodies, and help us avert a climate disaster. But what are these innovations? And how does it avert climate changes, that too by 2030? Continue watching the whole video to get your questions answered. Speaking of 2030, the world's 2/3 population will be settled in cities. Houses will be more integrated into the internet. Foreseeing, technological progress will raise human-machine relationships. Looking at technology growth, we can say that the world will be totally ruled over by artificial intelligence. So, future is right in front of your eyes, and it will arrive before you'll even notice. Many high-tech inventions will take their turn to rule. There are innovations happening right now that are ripped straight from the pages of science fiction. Whether that is robots that can read minds, NFTs, bionic eyes, smartwatches that are powered by your sweat, or plenty of other mind-blowing technology, there is a lot to expect from the world of future technology. Let's see what possibilities lie in the world's gossip about the future. Number 1. Brain-reading robots. Brain-reading robots are no longer science fiction. The use of brain-reading technology has improved hugely in recent years. Thanks to a machine learning algorithm, a robot arm, and a brain-computer interface, these researchers have managed to create a means for tetraplegic patients to interact with the world. In tests, the robot arm would perform simple tasks like moving around an obstacle. The algorithm would then interpret signals from the brain using an EEG cap and automatically determine when the arm had made a move that the brain considered incorrect. For example, moving too close to the obstacle or going too fast. Over time, the algorithm can then adjust to the individual's preferences and brain signals. In the future, this could lead to wheelchairs controlled by the brain or assistance machines for tetraplegic patients. Number 2. 5G and IoT. 5G may not seem very exciting. We already have 4G, so what's another G? But the difference will be exponential. 5G networks may ultimately be 100 times faster than 4G, allowing many more devices to connect, reducing latency to practically zero and providing more reliable signals. This wireless technology will provide the backbone for the Internet of Things, which will expand the power of the Internet beyond computers and across a wide range of objects, processes, and environments. The IoT is the keystone technology for such futuristic scenes as smart cities, robot-driven agriculture, and self-driving highway systems. For businesses, this 1-2 combo will continue recent trends and power them to the next level. Remote offices become more dependable under the 5G paradigm, and real-time data sharing of, say, live events or desktop captures will be seamless. As for the IoT, it helps remove intermediate steps that bog down productivity. Number 3. Blockchain. It may be surprising that Bitcoin, the much-hyped cryptocurrency, didn't make the list. But the technology's online ledger, the blockchain, has supplanted the digital denomination as the rising business star. Unlike traditional centralized records, a blockchain is decentralized. The permanent record is not stored in one location, but exists on nodes spread across the system. This design makes it difficult to lose records or tamper with them. Blockchain systems are effectively censorship-proof or seizure-resistant. In other words, the government can't come and take your asset if you're in a country that has very bad governance, or it means that no third party can suddenly, accidentally erase your data, or you can't hack a third party to access your data. This is why blockchain has caught the attention of organizations that need to store records, and the potential use cases are impressive. Blockchain could be used by hospitals to store and share health records. It could underpin a secure online voting platform. It could track logistics across international supply chains. And of course, there are numerous applications for cybersecurity too. Number 4. AR/VR. With hardware costs lowering, processing power increasing, and high-profile players such as Google and Facebook entering the game, virtual reality's day may have finally come. And the more widespread acceptance of augmented reality apps and smartphones may make such technologies an easier sell moving forward. The recently announced Microsoft Mesh and its competitors hope to capitalize on our new remote work area. The concept combines these mixed reality technologies to create virtual shared spaces that business teams can use to hold meetings or work on projects. This technology can revolutionize the customer experience in retail. Customers could, for example, try clothes on a virtual avatar or sit in their amphitheater seats before making a purchase. Number 5. Digital twins that track your health. In Star Trek, where many of our ideas of future technology germinated, human beings can walk into the medbay and have their entire body digitally scanned for signs of illness and injury. Doing that in real life would, say the makers of QBio, improve health outcomes and alleviate the load on doctors at the same time. The U.S. company has built a scanner that will measure hundreds of biomarkers in around an hour. from hormone levels to the fat building up in your liver to the markers of inflammation or any number of cancers. It intends to use this data to produce a 3D digital avatar of a patient's body, known as a digital twin, that can be tracked over time and updated with each new scan. Number 6. NLP. Natural language processing is a subfield of AI that aims to develop systems that can analyze and communicate through human language. Sounds easy? If so, it's only because you're reading these words with a mind endowed by evolution with the gift of language. Algorithms aren't so lucky. They have trouble parsing the eclectic hodgepodge of symbols, gestures, sounds, and cultural cues that we use to express meaning and ideas. When algorithms finally crack language, the business use cases will be substantial. Think chatbots, virtual editors, market analysis, instant translation of live conversations, resume readers, and phone auto attendants that don't send every caller into a rage. Number 7. Serverless computing. Serverless computing isn't truly serverless. Sans tapping into some seriously dark arts, it's impossible to provide computational resources without a physical server somewhere. Instead, this technology distributes those resources more effectively. When an application is not in use, no resources are allocated. When they are needed, the computing power autoscales. This technological shift means companies no longer need to worry over infrastructure or reserving bandwidth, which in turn promises the golden ticket of ease of use and cost savings. One of the beauties of this architecture is that you get charged by the cloud provider only when a service runs. You don't need to pay for idle capacity or even think about capacity. Basically, the runtime sits idle waiting for an event to occur, whereupon the appropriate function gets swapped into the runtime and executes. So you can build out a big, complex application without incurring charges for anything until execution occurs. Number 8. Green funerals. Sustainable living is becoming a priority for individuals squaring up to the realities of the climate crisis, but what about eco-friendly dying? Death tends to be a carbon-heavy process, one last stamp of our ecological footprint. The average cremation reportedly releases 400 kilograms of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, for example. So what's a greener way to go? In Washington state, you could be composted instead. Bodies are laid in chambers with bark, soil, straw, and other compounds that promote natural decomposition. Within 30 days, your body is reduced to soil that can be returned to a garden or woodland. Recompose, the company behind the process, claims it uses an eighth of the carbon dioxide of a cremation. Number 9. Airports for drones and flying taxis. Our congested cities are in desperate need of a breather, and relief may come from the air as opposed to the roads. Plans for a different kind of transport hub, one for delivery drones and electric air taxis, are becoming a reality, with the first urban airport receiving funding from the UK government. It's being built in Coventry. The hub will be a pilot scheme and hopefully a proof of concept for the company behind it. Powered completely off-grid by a hydrogen generator, the idea is to remove the need for as many delivery vans and personal cars on our roads, replacing them with a clean alternative in the form of a new type of small aircraft, with designs being developed by Hyundai and Airbus, amongst others. Infrastructure is going to be important. Organizations like the Civil Aviation Authority are looking into the establishment of air corridors that might link a city center with a local airport or distribution center. Number 10. Drown forest fires in sound. Forest fires could one day be dealt with by drones that would direct loud sounds at the trees below. Since sound is made up of pressure waves, it can be used to disrupt the air surrounding a fire, essentially cutting off the supply of oxygen to the fuel. At the right frequency, the fire simply dies out, as researchers at George Mason University in Virginia recently demonstrated with their sonic extinguisher. Apparently, bass frequencies work best. All in all, it mostly sounds like AI, machine learning, and virtual reality will mostly evolve the current generation and lead to a much better generation in the future. But are these really the world's greatest future technology? As it seems, technology is ever-changing, and this precious knowledge must be both managed and updated regularly. With this in mind, we must also take into consideration the fact that these technologies might also fail in future, but on the brighter side, these failures may lead to another huge success too. So for more such successful inventions that would turn the tables of our future, stay tuned by subscribing to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss another update. Until then, goodbye.